Hi, y'all. How's everybody doing? This is the day that the Lord has made, and I am ecstatic. I am so happy to be alive and to be coming to you today. This is Rena Canady Laster, all things lifestyle, coming to you today from outside. Why am I outside? Well, because this is the thing. I've just celebrated another year of life. Another chapter is beginning. I like to call it being 60 fine, 60 fine, and I am fine. I am fine in more ways than one. My appearance, I feel, is fine. I feel that I am doing fine, even though things aren't as I want them to be completely. But you know what? God is still good. He is still good. He allowed me to see another day. He allowed me to be blessed with my life, my health, my strength, my right mind, family, friends, the work environment, and most of all, I get to do and share my purpose for life and for living through my job and through ministry. And so, y'all, it's a good day. I'm fine. I'm fine. And so, with this comes a lot of experience, though. I want to say that, we often go around saying happy birthday, and I've had plenty, plenty, plenty of happy birthday wishes. And I thank you all, everyone who wished me a happy birthday, anybody that sent me a gift, anybody that sang happy birthday to me on the phone or sent a happy birthday song on Facebook, whatever you did. I want you to know that I really appreciate it. And I am grateful and I'm thankful. I'm grateful for you and I am thankful for you. Now, why am I outside? I'm outside because one of the things I often talk about is that we got to stop and smell the flowers, stop and smell the roses, you know, unwind, get out, enjoy life, do some things that we enjoy. And so, one of the things that I enjoy is outside. I enjoy being outside with my grandchildren. I enjoy being outside alone. I enjoy taking walks. And so, what better way to show gratitude and thankfulness to God for my birthday and for this whole next chapter than to be outside communing in nature with the God who created me, the God who gave me life. And y'all, the thing is too, it's hot out here. It is hot out here. The sun is beaming down, but you know what? I'm alive to even feel the sun. There are people who were not ready to leave this earth, who left suddenly, who were not prepared when they left, and they are no longer here. And if you could wake them up and talk to them today, they tell you things like, "I wish I could see another sunset. I wish I could sit in the sun one more time. I wish that I could be with my family or be with my friends. I wish that I could have completed the work that God called me to do, to have my purpose fulfilled rather than to have been complaining and, doing a lot of unnecessary things that didn't make sense." So I'm here and I am loving it. I am loving it. The sun, I love being able to feel the sun on my face. I love being able to breathe in the air. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to eat some ice cream and I'm going to celebrate my own birthday. I'm going to have ice cream, have my own little party. I mean, yeah, people have done that for me. I had a friend that prepared a gourmet dinner for me that was awesome. Family did things with me. They took me bowling. We went out. Um, my daughter came over with her family. They brought gifts. So I've just really, really, really had a beautiful, beautiful birthday. However, one of the things I want to share with you today is that with all of these years comes life lessons. I have learned so much each and every year that I have lived. I continue to add to the things that life has taught me. I sat down yesterday and I said, let's see if I can come up with a life lesson for every year that I have been alive. Y'all, I ran out of years and I still had plenty more life lessons to be talked about. And I've got 60 plus life lessons that I have learned. Now, I don't know how many I'm going to get to cover with you today, but I'm going to share as many with you as possible. And hopefully, some of them will resonate with you, because one of the things that we're also supposed to do is we're supposed to share our wisdom and share our experiences to let people know of the goodness of God and the things that we go through. And so, y'all might see me sweating a little bit. I'm sweating out here, but y'all, it's all good. It's all good. It's all fine. It's all fine. And so, let me just share some of the lessons that I have learned thus far in living. And hopefully, I can teach you a few things, save you a little bit of difficulty, because everything that I've gone through, hopefully, you don't have to go through yourself. And so, let me just go through some of those things with you. One of the things that I've learned is that your self care is your wealth care. Self care is wealth care. What do I mean by that? Well, your health is your wealth. And we talk about having financial literacy and being able to spend money wisely. I say we need to spend our health wisely. We need to spend this life wisely, because guess what? This is it. This is the body that was designed to take us through life, to take us where God has intended for us to go and to do the things that He has intended for us to do. And, it's a sad commentary for so many people who get to an older age and they're unable to move, unable to do anything. The old saying that says the flesh is, what is it? The mind is willing, but the flesh is weak. The flesh can't do and can't keep up with a lot of the things that the mind wants to do. So let me encourage you now to begin to focus on your health. Take care of your health. Be a good steward of the health and the body that God has given you. So that is one of the lessons. And then it goes into the second one, which I said your health is your wealth. The third thing I have learned is that pictures are memory making gold. Pictures are memory making gold. I am always being chided and talked about because I take so many pictures. But y'all, pictures are golden to me. I love pictures. Why? Because I can go back and I can reminisce. I can look at the pictures of loved ones who are no longer here. I can share memories. I can show them to my grandchildren and to people who didn't know that person, but they can keep that memory alive. So I keep that person's memory alive by taking lots of pictures. Pictures I watch, I share, and I often review them on a regular basis. I will go back and sometimes I'll just sit down and I will just look at pictures and I will think about people who are no longer here. For instance, my parents, they are no longer here, but I can live as if they were alive now through the memories that we have shared. And so pictures are golden. And let me encourage you, take pictures, take pictures. Y'all, let me say something. We have had several deaths in our family. And guess what? Nobody had a picture of that person. Nobody had a picture for the obituary, or nobody could show a picture of what the person looked like for those who didn't know. But guess who had the picture? Moi. Moi. Moi had a picture, because I value pictures and I value memories. So let me encourage you, take lots of pictures. Take them, share them. And the ones that are in your phone, when you're taking all these pictures all the time, share them with somebody. Send them to somebody. Post them on Facebook. Everybody may not like it, so I would get their permission. But for instance, our family has a family page. We have the Postal Descendants page, and then we have the Canady Lewis Jackson page, where the page or that site is only composed of family members. So if you don't want everybody looking at your family pictures, or if you don't want people all up in your business, that's what people say. I don't want everybody knowing what I'm doing and what I'm, where I'm going. Okay, well, touche, I get it. But if that's the case, then open a page where you all can share with each other, and nobody else will be privy to those pictures. But go ahead and share them. The next thing I say is that I want you to, and I have learned to hug loved ones, hug them on a regular basis, hug them every day, every chance you get. And with COVID, okay, I get it. You may not be able to hug some members, but hey, do the fist bump, do the shoulder bump, whatever. Put your mask on, but touch as much as you can, because there is no guarantee that you will be here. There is no guarantee that your family members will be here, and you want to have shown love and received love from people in your family. So hug loved ones often, kiss them. Then the fifth thing I say is tell loved ones that you love them daily, and more often is better. Tell folk you love them every day, every chance you get, because, like I said, you don't know if you're not going to be here. And having been a therapist for so many years, one of the things and regret, say, well, I didn't by. I told them how much I cared. I didn't get to. Well, you got the chance now. Do it now. Do it today. Now, go in there. Tell somebody you love them. I just called to say I love you. That Stevie Wonder song. I just called to say I love you. I just called to say I'm here. Because the sixth one, our body, we carry around so much garbage, so much stuff in us that we need to clear out. Get rid of all that stuff. Some holding on stuff from the past, holding on to issues from the past, with things that you can't move on because they're okay. It's time for another chapter. It's time for something else. I got to do something else. Now, I didn't get to do that, but guess what? That I can do. So do that. Live a free life. What I'm talking about? Weight. I'm not talking about pound. I'm talking about weight though. It's about us to get rid of the weight that so easily. I'm talking about that weight that we carry around. Weight that we get from eating foods that clutter up and mess with our temple and cause our temple not to be healthy. But then I'm also talking about those attitudes that harm us, the attitudes that we carry around that are not healthy, and those toxic people. Get rid of them. Get those things out of your life so you can live. It's kind of like talking about clogged arteries and clogged veins. Those people in those situations clog up your space, they clog up your ability. The Bible talks about your heart. Well, those things clog up your heart, and it makes it hard for you to live a life that is pleasing and that's enjoyable and stress free in the way that God wants us to live. So, purpose now to live a fat free life. A lot of the things I'm telling you, I had to learn over the years, but now that I know them, I live by them. And I try and get other people to live by them as well, because I know the Bible tells us that we've got a cloud of witnesses out there cheering us on. Well, I'm a witness. I'm cheering you on to the things you can do, to the kind of life you can have, to the promises that God has for us. And when he says he has a purpose and a plan for us, that purpose and plan is to give us a hope, give us a future, and an expected end. And that expected end is not to be walking around where we can't enjoy life and fulfill the purpose that he's called us here for. Then the next thing is to make your beauty routine as low maintenance as possible. Y'all, that's a big one for me. Um, Kudos and hats off to the people who like spending 2 and 3 hours in the mirror and putting on 3 hours worth of makeup and those kinds of things. If that's their thing, that's their thing. But for me, I have a simplified beauty routine. I would like to make it as simple as possible. I want to look good, but I want things that are going to allow me that free time to do some extra things. So get your routine that is going to let you be able to do some other things. You don't have to spend 2 hours in the mirror. Um, and go on YouTube, search for beauty routines or shortcuts or whatever. There are ways to do that. Then another one is to eat lots of fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables help with your beauty as well. They help you with your skin, they help you with your nutrition, they help you to be healthy. So eat lots of fruits and vegetables. Give your body what it wants. Your body wants healthy foods. Your body wants things that God created for us. You know, God created fruits and he created vegetables, and I'm out here in the midst now of like strawberries and pecans and peaches and all kinds of things that God created for our enjoyment. And I'm going to enjoy some of them when I get off this broadcast. So eat lots of fruits and vegetables. It's good for you. It's good for your beauty routine. It's good for your health. Get your regular checkups is another one. I'm on 11 already. Get your regular checkups. Um, don't put off going to the doctor. A lot of people I have heard say things like, "Well, I'm afraid to go because of what I might hear," or "I'm afraid to go because I've been having these problems and it may be something wrong or it may be cancer." Well, okay, that's the time to go, because guess what? If it is something that you're afraid of, the only thing that's going to happen is it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And you may die an untimely, unnecessary early death because you did not go and see about the things that you could have seen about. So get your checkups. Go see your doctor. If there's something wrong, then go and check out with your doctor. In line with that, number 12 says, know your physical numbers. That means know your A1C numbers, know your blood pressure and how it runs, know your weight and how it runs, know your cholesterol numbers. Men, know your testosterone numbers, know the numbers that have to do with the male parts of your anatomy, because all of these numbers are meaningful. The way that God designed us is that He designed our body to talk to us and to let us know things. If there's something wrong, your body will let you know, and your body will not lie. It will not lie. And so, if you want to know how you're doing, ask your body. It's going to tell you. And so, those numbers tell you, how you're feeling tells you if you got swelling, if you got a lot of inflammation. All of that means something. So, know about it. Number 13, get rid of or donate things that you haven't used within the last 3 to 6 months. Now, y'all, that's gonna hit me. I'm gonna say ouch, but that's one of my goals, and that's one of my things that I'm working on for the next chapter of my life. I want to get rid of a lot of clutter. I want to get rid of a lot of things that are just kind of taking up space when you're younger, and it has to do with stages. You know, the Bible talks about there's a time for all things. Well, there's a time for all things, and when you're younger, you're trying to accumulate things. You're trying to. Some people are trying to impress other people. You're trying to prove to yourself that you can buy certain things. But guess what? When you start getting older, then you're trying trying to throw away all that stuff. You're trying to get rid of it and give it away because it's taking up your space. It's taking up brain space. It's taking up time that you could be traveling and doing some other things. Because if you got to be at home dusting and cleaning and all that stuff, if you got to be at home trying to take care of all that stuff, it's going to cut into your available free time. So if you haven't worn it and you're waiting till you get to a certain size, y'all, if you haven't done it in the last 3 or 4 years, more than likely, I hate to be bearer of bad news, but it's not going to happen. Why? Because you have to make an intentional effort. You have to be intentional. You have to be determined. You have to be have perseverance to meet those goals. And if you haven't met them yet, it may be that you're not determined enough. Or if you've got some medical stuff going on, it may be that you haven't done what I've said previously, where you need to go to the doctor, you need to check out what may be wrong and what may be causing you to hold on to the weight that you can't lose. Same way with the weight that the Bible talks about when it says the weight that so easily besets us. A lot of times we can't get rid of heart issues. We can't get rid of mind issues and all those things because there are things we have not let go and we refuse to let go and they're weighing us down. So let's figure out what it is and why it is that we are not losing weight, whether it be physical, emotional, spiritual, whatever it is, let's get to it. Then I'm on number 14, y'all. See, I told you I had over 60, and if I don't finish today, I'm going to come back and finish the rest of them. But another thing that I have learned is that we need to give back and volunteer some of your time to others. Give back. God created us to be here for each other. No man is an island, no man lives alone. And that song is very meaningful. You have people who are waiting for what you have to say and what you have to give. Something as small as cutting your neighbor's lawn, something as small as going to a nursing home or reading over um, the airways to someone who can't read for themselves, dropping off groceries for an elderly person. One of the things that I'm going to do also, I have a backpack ministry, but I have added the children from Family and Children's Services. I'm going to be um, donating um, things to them because one of the sad things about children being in foster care and being placed is that oftentimes they're taken in the middle of the night or they're from homes that can't provide a lot of the things that they need. And these children are taken to their next placement with a bag, a paper bag. And usually it can either be a trash bag or if the child doesn't own a lot of things, then it will be a bag from Walmart. So I'm going to be giving back. I'm going to be donating. And then a lot of the things that we don't need, give them away, donate them. There are people who need it. There's that saying that says one man's trash is another man's treasure. So get rid of that stuff. Get rid of it. If you don't need it, give it to someone who can use it. It's actually a sin to be holding on to all of that stuff because it's gluttony. The Bible talks about gluttony. It talks about greed. If you're not using it, then why are you holding on to it? Why? Why? The next one, number 15, says get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep at night. Now, if we don't get enough sleep, our body is going to let us know. God designed our body, He designed it to have an internal clock that tells us what to do. It wakes us up, it carries us through our day. And if we don't get enough sleep, then you will be able to tell it. And so we need to be able to get sleep. Get your sleep at night. Go to bed. And if you're doing things that you can't go to bed, then take naps during the day. A lot of people let people make them feel guilty about taking a nap. Y'all, that ain't my story. If I need to take a nap, I'm going to take it. And oftentimes I do take one in the afternoons when I get home from work. If it's usually about 5 or 6, I might sleep 30 minutes. Give me my second wind, so that I can go do the other things that I want to do because I want to fit in a lot. My daddy always used to joke, and he said, I've got more years behind me than I do ahead of me. So, y'all, I want to make my years ahead of me count. And so I want to get as much of life and live as much as I can. And so that means I got to rest. That means I got to get to sleep, and I will go to sleep. Then I will get back up and I might read or I might go to the gym later, whatever it is I need to do. But I make sure that I get my proper rest and my sleep. Get your rest, even in all of that. Also, don't be afraid to take a vacation. Take some days off, y'all, y'all, y'all. All of this that we keep doing, where we want to make all the money, have all the money, have all the stuff. I'm telling you, ain't no U-Hauls going to the cemetery. No U-Hauls are going to the cemetery. But what is going to the cemetery is a life, hopefully a well lived life, and the people who you influenced and who you loved and who you made an impact upon. That's the only thing that really matters in the end. My husband, before he died, used to say, he said, you really have to value people and relationships. He said, because I can have a table full of money right next to me on that side table. But guess what? If I need a drink of water, that money can't get up and bring me a drink of water. That money on that table cannot do anything for me. But I do need people. I need you, baby. I need my children, he said. And that is what really matters. So, yes, it's okay to be trying to build a life and have things or whatever, but put it in the proper perspective and put it in the proper priority. And then look at why you're doing it. Are you doing it just to impress other people, or is it a part of the purpose and the plan that God has for your life? Think about it, because all this stuff, God has not said for us to, have all this stuff laying around and whatever. And it says, give us this day our daily bread. A lot of the things that we have are extra, extra. And the Bible did say that God will fulfill and He will give us the desires of our heart. But y'all, that verse is contingent upon the fact that our heart is the same as His heart. His heart is not a gluttonous heart. His heart is not a heart that's full of materialistic desires. So, what are we planning and how are we doing it according to God's plan? That's how we have to live. Number 17, um, no, number 16, listen to be understood and listen to understand. When we're having conversations with other people, try to understand where they're coming from, because oftentimes we have not really listened to find out what their point of view is, why they're thinking the way they are. And if we listen to understand why they're thinking that way, it's going to be easier to come back in with some knowledge and with some truth and some wisdom. But if we're trying to argue and have our way and make sure that our point gets covered and all of that, then it's all going to be a moot point. It's got to be two-way communication, and the communication has to be where we're trying to understand each other and we are trying to make sure that we are heard. Make sure that we're heard. Make sure that they're heard, and make sure that if we're not on the same page, then we're going to talk about why, and we're going to talk about it in an adult way. We're not yelling, we're not arguing, we're not name calling, we're not belittling the other person. We're understanding their perspective so that we can be able to come back and talk about why it is that what they're doing may not be working. Then, number 17, it says, be able to label your emotions rather than act them out. As I tell my grandchildren and I tell my children and my students, use your words. God gave us vocabulary. He gave us a mouth. And if we read the book of James, it talks about how the tongue can be so detrimental. Use your words. Be able to label your words, label your emotions rather than act them out. All the time, people don't have to know that you're angry because you're tearing down a door, or you're beating up something, or you speeding off down the driveway. You're doing wheelies and you're leaving behind a pile of smoke. No. put some words with that. Be able to talk to that person and say, I really feel hurt when you do XYZ, or it really makes me feel that you don't care when I do blah, blah, blah. Be able to discuss and put words with it. And we also, with our children, we need to teach them words beyond happy, sad, mad, glad, because there's so many more emotions than that. And if people have more emotions to express themselves, the likelihood of people holding in a lot of stuff and lashing out and not being able to understand what they're feeling is going to be decreased. So we need to teach our children, oh, how are you feeling? Man, I am just joyful. How are you feeling? Oh, right now I am just kind of feeling that I don't know what I'm feeling. But they got to be able to put it in words, and it's more than happy, sad, mad, glad. Use your words. Then, number 18, be aware of your thoughts and choose what you will focus on. Be aware of your thoughts, because a lot of times people say things like, well, I couldn't help it. It just came up, and what came up came out, and no, 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 no. That's not how God created you. It says, what? If there be any virtue, think on these things. And it gives you a whole list of ways to think in the Bible. Psychology calls, they have, they call it metacognition, where you're thinking about what you're thinking about. If you think about what you're thinking about, then you have more control. And for instance, when you have children in the classroom, that's why the teachers are saying, count to 10 before you have an action, or count to 10, take some deep breaths. Why? Because that's giving your mind time to catch up with what your body is trying to do. Your fist is balled up, you're huffing and puffing, you're ready to go and slap somebody, but that action gives your mind time to come in and say, oh, no, 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 no. Calm down, calm down. This is not healthy. And so these are 18 things that I've come up with so far. And I probably got about 40 more. And so I am going to continue to share some of these because I think they will help somebody. Because in the Bible, that is what and how God um, designed it. He said what? That we're overcome by the word of our testimony. And so these things I have learned about from living. These things are my testimony. They are life lessons that I have learned and that I have lived through. And I know that the things that I'm telling you works. And so I'm out of time for today, but I will pick back up and continue because, like I said, I'm 65. 65. I'm gonna let y'all guess what that is, and if you know what it is, then you can put it in the chat. But I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be alive, and I'm happy that I have made another milestone, and I'm looking forward to the next year. So you have been listening to Rena Canady Laster, All Things Lifestyle, where your lifestyle speaks, your lifestyle ministers, your lifestyle can tell a whole lot. So tune in every Thursday at 5 p.m. And we will continue the discussions where we will help you to live an out of the box lifestyle. So until next week, be blessed, take care, and y'all, if you got a birthday, start writing down your life lessons. See what life has taught you. Don't just be here taking up time and taking up space. See what life has taught you because life is a great teacher if we will listen. Be blessed.